What's up, baseball fans? I'm Steve D'Elia with Youth1, and welcome to the Youth1 Baseball lineup. On our screens to your right, we've got Youth1 Baseball editors Zach O'Connor-Roble and baseball writers Max Korach and Michael McLaughlin. Our staff has compiled a 9-man lineup consisting of teams and players that have earned the spotlight here at Youth1. Maybe it's a team that's won a big tournament, maybe they're on a winning streak, maybe it's a player who's about to hit it big, or maybe it's a story that has big implications for you and your team. It's up to our baseball guys to decide. Let's start off with our lead baseball editor, Zach O'Connor-Roble. Who do we have leading off in the lineup?
In youth baseball, there are a handful of states that consistently produce the best prospects and teams, one of which is Texas. In our most recent 14U national rankings, 3 squads from the Lone Star State were ranked in the top 6. The team to make the biggest jump was the Banditos Black from Tomball. In May, they were an honorable mention due to lack of tournament play, but after going 10-0 and outscoring opponents 72-14 over that span, it's clear they are a top-flight team. Team Rawlings Moulton, based in Rockwall, rose from number 10 last month to 4th after winning the KC Sports Memorial Day Super NIT and USSSA Texas Baseball State Championship. In those 2 tournaments, Team Rawlings was 13-0 and outscored opponents 119-29. Lastly, Team Texas sits firmly at number 5 nationally and is still the only team to beat Rawlings way back in March. And hey, it wouldn't be crazy for the number 14 Dallas Tigers to find their way into the top 10 next month.
Awesome, awesome. I think that's a lead-off hit. Let's run it right down to number 2, Max Korach. Who do we have hitting out of the number 2 spot today?
Oftentimes, when developing our rankings, there's a lot of debate about who should be the number 1 team in the country. For 11U, Diamond MVP is hands down the clear top team in the country. Since March, Diamond MVP has gone a staggering 30-1 while facing mainly 12U teams. They recently captured the 12U California State Championship, beating the Marucci Sun Devils in the finals. They can beat you with both pitching and offense, averaging over 8 runs per game against their USSSA opponents while allowing 1.5 runs per game. To give you an example of just how dominant they've been, they've allowed 4 combined runs in their last 7 games. It's going to take a lot of quality wins and pure dominance for any team to dethrone Diamond MVP from the top spot.
All right, moving right along, we're heading to the number 3 spot and our newest baseball writer, Mike McLaughlin. Mike, tell us what you got for us.
In the 3 spot, we've got the Florida Burn, and I mentioned them today because of their best player, Lyon Richardson. Baseball prospects usually don't get recruited as early as basketball prospects, but that doesn't mean there are not great players out there. The 6-foot, 170-pound Richardson is a right-handed pitcher and middle infielder, and he's already been clocked up to 87 miles per hour. In May, the 2018 prospect used that velocity and pitched a no-hitter for 6 1/3 innings at the Perfect Game Super 25. Keep an eye out for this switch hitter and flamethrower as he tears up high school baseball.
Good, we've been through the top 3. We're going to the cleanup spot now. Each of these guys have talked, so we're sending it back to you, Zach. Tell us who you got batting cleanup on the lineup today.
The Papillion Predators are red hot. The 14th U team from Nebraska is 13-1 during their 3-tournament winning streak. They most recently won the Papillion Days NIT to boost their USSSA tournament record to 34-8 on the year. And when we discover a team that's playing exceptional baseball, we include them in our new series, Baseball's Weekly Best. Every Wednesday, we highlight teams from the 11, 12, 13, and 14U divisions that are playing the best, regardless of classification. Does your team deserve the spotlight? Let us know by nominating your squad today.
All right, moving right along to number 5. We've yet to be struck out yet. Max Korach, let's keep the streak going. Who do you have at number 5?
So next up are the PL Bulldogs Red, who are our biggest riser in our upcoming 11U rankings this week. Playing in the talent-rich baseball state of Florida, they finished in the top 2 in 5 of their 7 tournament appearances this year. The reason for their big rise is their first-place finish at the recent Florida State Championship, where they defeated some of the best teams in the country in Spartans Pro, Strike Force, and Team Avalanche Elite. They didn't just beat their competition, they dominated, outscoring their 5 opponents a combined 41-11 score. In addition to those elite teams they beat at the Florida State Championships, They have beaten top 20 teams in Panama Mutiny Elite and Team Florida. Check out the newest 11U baseball rankings, see where the PL Bulldogs Red are ranked.
All right, sending it back to Mike McLaughlin. Mike is taking the number 6 spot for us. Mike, who is batting out of the 6th spot?
If you want to know who the best 13U team is, then look no further than the La Miranda Spartans. The Northern California squad comes in first place in pretty much every tournament they enter. With an 18-1 in-class record, the Spartans have not lost since March. Moreover, it is the manner in which they are winning and who they are beating that is so impressive. Against teams in their class, the Spartans are beating teams on average by over 7 runs. Their powerful offense has already led them to 4 first-place finishes in Super NIT tournaments and will lead them to many more as the summer progresses.
And here we go. We're running through for the last time. We're back with Zach O'Connor-Roble. He's got the number 7 hitter for us. Zach, what do you got?
Matt Nadell started a baseball blog when he was 13. After a summer of writing about the history of America's pastime, Baseball with Matt took off, and not long after, Nadell became the youngest pro blogger on MLB.com. He has since interviewed 10 Hall of Famers and even President George W. Bush. The 15-year-old has been featured in Sports Illustrated and the New York Post and appeared on the MLB Network and Fox 5 New York. In my exclusive interview, Nadell talks about his upcoming book and what current player he'd like to interview the most. So remember to check out Youth1.com to get an in-depth look at one of the brightest baseball minds in the country.
All right, Max, this is our last plate appearance for you today. You've got the number 8 spot on lock. Tell us who's there.
Baseball players, managers, and even umpires are still trying to figure out how to understand and enforce the new home plate collision rule in Major League Baseball. While the rule has the best intentions, there needs to be more consistency with all facets of the rule. Enter Youth Baseball, where safety should be paramount, placed first and foremost above anything else. From every level of youth baseball, specifically 14U and lower, enforce the same rule, effectively banning any home plate collisions. Stress that the runner should have a clear path to home, similar to his path on all other base paths, while prohibiting initiating any contact with the catcher is also paramount. Teaching this fundamental practice to youth baseball participants at an early age will then prepare them when they play higher levels of baseball. Leave no gray area in the rule. There should be absolutely no home plate collisions in youth baseball.
And now we're on to our last one. It's Mike McLaughlin. Mike, tell us who our last batter is in the lineup today.
Every sport is looking for their next phenom. Baseball may have just found theirs in Maddox Burr. Barely 11 years old and are tipping the scales at 100 pounds, Burr has dominated older competition. In his past 24 games, he has hit 21 home runs. Moreover, he set the Warren County, Kentucky record with 13 home runs in 14 games, with 9 of them coming against players who are at least a year older than him. On the mound, his fastball already hits 60 miles per hour. This is not a case of a player maturing so young that he's a man amongst boys. In fact, Burr's brother, Jerron Burr, a 7th grade 2014 East Bay All-American football player, weighed 140 pounds at the same age. Instead, the younger Burr simply has a gift to hit the baseball. This is not the last time we will be hearing his name.
And that's it. We've made it through the lineup thanks to the help of our baseball staff. Be sure to send in all of your info on your team throughout the entire baseball season and see if you can make it into the lineup. Special thanks to our baseball editors, Zach O'Connor-Roble, and baseball writers, Max Korach and Mike McLaughlin. I'm Steve D'Elia with Youth1, saying see you next time.